Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Ask Me Anything Live. We have these calls every Friday at 10 a.m. Central European Time. Usually stream on Instagram. Today, apparently, there is some issue with Instagram. We're only going to stream this on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page and SEOLeverage. Make sure you follow us and get this information. We share a lot of tips that come up with our clients every week. We have a coaching program where clients ask questions with a private chat where they ask me directly in relation to what their site is doing and what they can improve. So if you are interested, definitely check out our website, click the coaching button and check out what we are doing there. And this is probably for small businesses the best offer you can get right now. It's still on a founder's rate, so take a look. We've just been through the May 2020 Google Core update. As you probably know, Google is doing a lot of updates every day, and they then have like bigger updates they usually announce throughout the year. Lately, they focus on so-called core updates, which they launch approximately every 3 months. So there was one in January. Now we had the next one. The update is fully rolled out. It usually takes Google 2 weeks. And within these 2 weeks, the whole SEO community is kind of guessing where things are heading. We have already seen that things like branding have been getting more important. We've seen sites going down which do not update their pages well enough. So maybe you want to check out how you update your pages, if you can add some content or add more value there. If you dropped in rankings, you definitely want to check out what is ranking now and what's the difference between the sites that are ranking high now on Google and your page that has dropped in rankings. There's probably a difference in usability. Maybe they have better design, maybe they are faster, maybe they have fresher content, or they go more in depth. Maybe there is a video embedded. So check for differences and see if you can match what Google thinks users want to see, and then you should probably be fine. There might be some link building necessary to get your domain a little bit more known in the space, get your domain authority, as we call it, higher. And this only works with backlinks from other sites with a higher domain authority. One of the questions that comes up all the time in my client calls is the topic of videos and whether they are good for SEO. Let me first explain what usually happens. So usually you will find that people have like maybe a YouTube channel, an Instagram TV channel, or just create videos for clients and then want to leverage those videos. And the idea is really that videos are good, so it must be good for SEO. People like videos. So what happens is that we see a lot of pages that essentially a lot of sites create a new page, put up their video, put a very small description because they don't want to spend so much time. People, after all, should watch the video. And then they ask me why these pages don't rank. The thing is that we are confusing two different things here in two different parts of the audience. So there is an audience that wants to watch videos, and a huge part of this audience is going to go to YouTube and search for a topic to find a video because they want to consume content as a video. And then you have got another portion of the users which search on Google for information, for a response on a certain topic, etc. And these people not necessarily want to consume this information as a video. They might be on the go. They might be on their couch watching TV and looking up something. They might be in a situation where they can't or don't want to consume video. And then the brief description you have below your page might not be enough, or probably is not enough for them to answer that question. The recommendation here I would have is to see videos like as an extra, like an add-on to your content. So you would still write up the best piece of content that matches what Google wants to rank, but you would have your video embedded for the people who want to consume this content as a video, but the rest of the page should really be a full featured article if this is what Google wants to rank. I've never seen a page that just has a video and a brief description rank well. So in any case, you want to go a little bit deeper with the text. I'm not too fond of having entire transcriptions and trying to rank those, because first I've seen them not ranking very well. And second, transcription very often doesn't read as well as an article that has its structure, its paragraphs, internal linking, maybe some images, etc. It changes a lot. So transcription as a substitute for an article doesn't really work too well. It might work sometimes, but sometimes you get like very weird keywords ranking, very unrelated. Google doesn't really know how to deal with those things yet, I think. So I would rather go down the path of creating a separate article, embed your video. And if you have a transcription, by all means, have it as a PDF. It could also be a reason for people to opt in to get this transcription, maybe if they want to download it. But definitely make this article eligible for page one, matching what's ranking on page one. Google is not going to rank a page just because it has a video on it. This is what YouTube is for and video search. But for normal Google search, you will want to compete with what's ranking on Google when you create this content. This is a topic that comes up very often as well in our site audits. Many sites have images, or a large portion of their images is too big in file size, or at least bigger than they would have to be. And this comes about, or this provokes longer loading times. The performance goes down, usability goes down of the page. People have to wait too long. My best advice to find out about these things, if you don't have any technical tools is to pick up your mobile phone, switch Wi-Fi off, because Wi-Fi covers a lot of these issues due to its loading speed. Switch off Wi-Fi. Ideally, go to a place where you don't have 4G, maybe only 3G, and then navigate your website. And what you will find is that some images take a long time to load. Some pages take a long time to fully load. And this is something that very often comes back down to image size. So image size meaning, first of all, the file size. People have to download the entire file, even if it's just shown in a tiny version on a mobile phone. People still have to download a bigger version probably. And there, some people have told me last week, for example, that they don't know how to further reduce the size of their images because they already put it through some tinypng.com site or something like this, where you can drag and drop an image and it gets reduced in file size. If there's nothing else you can do there, you can still see if the size in pixels is much bigger than it has to be. And this is the case on many sites. The site and the theme, and this based probably on WordPress, loads like an image much bigger than it's actually shown on the page. And what this means is that you could reduce the file size just by reducing the size of the image to the maximum necessary size on your website. Take into account that there are different devices, so different devices might need different sizes, but definitely make sure your images are as small as it gets for better site performance. And when you're touching images, by the way, also make sure every single image has an alternative text. Accessibility is important, has always been important, and is getting more important, I believe. So definitely make sure everybody can consume the content on your site and can know what an image is about, even if they can't see it, for example. Let me talk a little bit more about SEOLeverage Coaching, because I think this is just something we get some questions here on how this really works, and I would like to explain it a little bit further. So the SEOLeverage Coaching program, we really created this on the one hand for small businesses, and especially for people who have someone on their team who needs some SEO guidance or needs some SEO training, or they want to ask me a few questions once in a while in a private chat, or get to know some strategies and tactics we have seen working, or see some in-depth case studies, etc. we are sharing there. So if you are doing your SEO yourself or have someone on your team doing the SEO, but you feel you need some input once in a while because there's just so much information out there that's sometimes misleading. I just saw another SEO agency the other day recommending to add meta keywords, which has never worked in SEO. There's just so much bad advice. And if you feel you need some guidance, if you feel you would like to get a little bit deeper into what you can do for your site, then definitely check out the coaching program we have. What you essentially will get there's a video on our site around the coaching program anyway, but what you essentially get there, apart from some fundamentals training and some courses I'm recording every month, you also get a forum where we share some tactics, frequently asked questions. We talk about the update, for example, what you can do, etc. There's also a private coaching thread, and this goes directly into my inbox, where you can ask me questions about your site. I jump on sites every day, check out what they should be doing, what they can be doing, do some tests, etc. Because I really want to help every individual site, and there is just so much SEO advice you can give on a general basis, on a overall advice, because everything else really depends. And there is a running gag in the SEO community that it always depends, but it is really like that. Every niche is different, but also every query on Google is different. So you need to check out what's happening, what is it, what Google is looking for, what are you missing on your site. And this only works on an individual basis. So there is no agency that can give you general advice and you implement this and you're going to rank high. It just doesn't work this way. You need someone helping you on a specific basis on your site, on your situation in a given moment, because after the Google update, a lot of things have changed as well. So definitely check out the coaching program. I do believe it's probably one of the best value you can get for your money right now, to get additional guidance, get specific guidance. And we have seen that other platforms like Facebook ads, like Twitter ads, etc., have their issues. So we just have one Google Ads account, for example, shut down because the site has some issues they need to resolve. Their Facebook ads accounts getting shut down. Sometimes you don't get the reach you want because people are not convinced by your results, etc. There is a reason why more and more people, and especially now with the coronavirus, turn to SEO, because you need some constant flow of traffic, some constant branding exposure, even if another channel breaks down. So you want to have one of the pillars being the organic traffic channel that brings qualified users to your brand on an ongoing basis. And the more the better, as long as they are relevant. Because very often also decision processes are very long. So we have people who have been following our company, my work, etc., for months or even years, until they decide to finally take action and get some help. Depending on your niche, we are working with office refurbishment companies, for example. Sometimes they get proposal requests with a screenshot of a real estate platform where someone hasn't even bought the property. They afterwards need to be refurbished. So they have like a time span of a year or 2 years. In this time, you need to keep your prospects close. You want to get your brand exposed to them. You want them to land with several queries about your product, about your industry on your site, be able to place a cookie on their site, be able to retarget them, etc. So definitely make sure you leverage this opportunity. The last question for today, unless something else comes in, is remarketing and SEO. I've mentioned this before, and there's someone who wanted to know how this works exactly. So first, let me clarify. Remarketing, or also called retargeting, actually refers to people seeing ads from your site after visiting your site. Or, for example, on Facebook, after watching a video, after they watch the video, you can retarget them, meaning you can expose them again with your communication, your creatives, your ads, essentially. This happens especially if you, for example, look for search for a flight, search for a hotel, etc. The tourism industry does this heavily, and sometimes they overdo it. You probably get a lot of ads around tourism, around hotel reservations, around the flight reservations, etc. You can do this in a much smarter way, and the smarter way to do this is combining organic traffic with remarketing. The way this works is that once you have people, you definitely need to build your SEO foundation. You need rankings, you need to get organic traffic, and then you get this traffic to different articles. But then the next step is really that on those articles, you can place a cookie on their browser. And if this article was about, I don't know, the Shopify platform, for example, and I have an offer related to Shopify, I can then retarget those people, meaning that after they consume my content on Shopify, they will see on other pages banners and maybe a video on YouTube, etc., about this same offer. So you kind of chase them under quotes, don't overdo it because you can cap the frequency here. You chase them for a few days and accompany their process. Okay, this can also go longer. You can even, with the right strategy, stop the chasing for a while and then continue again, maybe pick them up again a month afterwards and see if they're then ready to decide. The idea is really that when they do research, they keep in mind your brand, they go back to your site, check your site out multiple times. You might even show them a case study of this Shopify offer you have, for example, and or a video review or video testimonial of a client that has been happy with your services, etc. So definitely this is a very powerful combination, and we see lots and lots of sites that get a huge amounts of organic traffic, but they don't do any retargeting, meaning they leave out a lot of money on the table just because a single visit from Google isn't going to lead to a conversion. People need to come to your site more often, check out your site more often in order to convert. So we had one client, for example, in the tourism industry, who essentially with a remarketing campaign, within a week, they got our feedback, our SEO fee for a month. They got it back just with the remarketing campaign we implemented. And on from week 2, it was essentially also already a positive return on investment. So it's really leveraging what you have in a better way. Give them more chances to check out your offer. Give them more chances to overcome the obstacles that might, or objections that might separate them from the purchase. With the remarketing, and SEO definitely is like a very low pressure way to get them into your area, into your topic, into your zone, and then you can retarget them with more directed communication items. So I think we are going to end this now today. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Gert Mellach. Check out SEOLeverage.com and definitely make sure you follow us on Facebook and get notified about the next Ask Me Anything call. We do them every Friday at 10 a.m. Central European Time. Also, you will find these recordings on our YouTube channel, so check this out. Search for SEO Leverage on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. There's a lot of advice chunked down into small pieces, so you can just cherry pick what you think is interesting, what you think is relevant, and absolutely take a look at the SEO coaching. I'm definitely positive this is going to have a huge impact on your site if you join and implement on the suggestions we do there. Have a great weekend and see you next Friday. Bye.